Experiencing the death of a loved one or feelings about your own risk of death during the pandemic can cause isolation and fear.
For this week's edition of Center Solutions COVID Edition, Melanie Saiz explains how the coronavirus can cause trauma or even PTSD.
For example, our healthcare workers who are now suddenly having to see unexpected death, people isolated in a hospital without family members. So these are affecting our healthcare workers emotionally. Their traumas, it's a secondary trauma that they're going to have to take with them later. So there will be absolutely some PTSD effects from that. And it transcends to many other areas, many people. We can all expect a little of these emotions going forward.
Melanie says PTSD can impact a person's ability to work, their mood, their sleep, and then once you can't sleep well, that can really hurt your physical health.
Even if COVID-19 has not hurt your mental health, trauma from before the pandemic can bring those memories or experiences back.
During the pandemic and really all of the things we're experiencing this year, because of the uncertainty, it's almost kind of a what came first, the chicken or the egg. Because anybody that has experienced trauma prior, this can ignite that trauma.
Now, it's key is to take care of your mental health, not just so that you can feel good on a day-to-day basis, but also for your long-term health.
You may not think that you need to address it, but if you don't, you can develop PTSD. And then later on down the line, it will, if you have another trauma, say this pandemic is very traumatic for most everyone. So that's a trauma on top of whatever trauma you had before. So there's a layering effect. It becomes much more difficult as time goes by to peel those layers away, learn how to handle the anxiety of situations. The benefit of a counselor is that they can give you the skills and coping mechanisms in order to take a moment, take a step back, take a breath, remind yourself what you're experiencing, and be able to power through it.
Melanie says something that is traumatic for one person may not be traumatic for another person, but that it doesn't lessen the experience for those impacted.
And for more information about trauma and PTSD during the pandemic, head to yourbasin.com. We'll also have a link to the Center Solutions podcast for more mental health tips.